There have been so many new studios created, and so many rumors not related to the studios.
That is correct.
So, Southern Matt is here.
Oh God, even dumber than normal, Matt. Gamers 2 Podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interests. It's not a great week for news.
Or anything.
Yeah,
Barbie and Oppenheimer, I guess.
Yeah, everyone's up. Everyone's really jazzed about that. Barbie and Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer? I say Oppenheimer, but I fucking feel like I say it wrong.
I say op. It's two P's.
Yeah. Oppenheimer. Yeah. I'm curious about that one. But movie theaters, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's always the fun part of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, if free time was like a thing, like it was easier to
if I possessed it.
It was easier to get away for 3 hours, 4 hours.
Why? Just take them with you.
Yeah, it'd go well. I would. I hit up the IMAX and do the IMAX of it, screening of it.
It's time for you to learn, son.
Yeah,
the story of Robert Oppenheimer. We're seeing Barbie after this.
Nah, he'd be
double
like,
showing.
He'd be like, "Yeah, it's big bomb, blow up all the things," and just start destroying things.
You just feel the passion.
Yep. Devious, evil offspring. Anyways,
as offspring are many devious.
Yeah, that's very true.
But if you didn't want to spend money to go to the IMAX,
yeah, you could probably buy 2 months of Game Pass.
Oh, for sure. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know what IMAX tickets go for, but I got to imagine it's like well over $15.
Oh, probably, and it probably also depends on when you go to.
Yeah, true.
Matinee IMAX might be $20.
True that.
But either way, you can buy games.
Yeah, if you have free time and you got some cash to burn, you could buy some new video games.
Like number 1, Sticky Business for the PC.
That's me 24/7 since it's summer and hot out and humid.
I'm happy you went there.
Yeah.
Of all the places you could have gone.
I'm trying to tone it down. No.
But also that's true though. Humid summertime.
Oh yeah. I feel like it's been worse this year than previous years as far as humidity goes.
More recently it has. I mean, when we had that drought for like the week and a half in the beginning, it was weird.
Yeah.
Dry as a desert. Number 2, Stonks 9800 for the PC.
It's an aggressive title.
Number 3, Coreborn Nations of the Ultra Core for the PC. Number 4, Mad Shot for the Switch. Number 5, Murder is Game Over, Streaming Death for the PC. Number 6, Unidentified Falling Objects for the PC and Switch. Number 7, Viewfinder for the PC and PlayStation. You remember Viewfinder?
Yeah, was that the photography one?
Yeah, where like you take a photo, you put it in the world, and then you walk into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that. Fun puzzle game. I'm curious to see how that one gets received because it looked like it would be very cool to kind of like. It looked like one of those experience games.
Yeah.
Like about 4 hours, and then you kind of go, okay, I've done that.
Yep.
Number 8, Blackout Protocol for the PC. I think that's alcohol and drugs or like turn the lights off.
Turn the lights off.
Number 9, Gunsmith Simulator for the PC.
There's a simulator for everything. Speaking of.
Number 10, Poo Poo's Adventure Park for the PC. When he said speaking of to simulators, that's what he meant.
No idea what this game's about, by the way, but.
Number 11, The Repair House for PC. what you're going to have to do if you want to buy a home in 2023.
It's awful.
Number 12, WWE 2K23 Revel with Wyatt Pack DLC. Number 13, Homeseek for the PC. Pretty sure Homeseek and Repair House should probably get together.
Yeah. It's one or the other. Homeseek or Repair House.
Number 14, Kill Squad for the PlayStation. Number 15, Crazy Zacy, The Knights of the Cross for the PC.
Interesting.
That is 100% not Zacy, right? That is definitely like some European word.
I'm sure it is, but I would have went the direction you want as well.
I appreciate it. Number 16, Punch Club 2 Fast Forward for the PC. Punch Club 1, loved game. Punch Club 2, we'll see. You don't remember either of it because it's an indie game, so don't worry about it.
Yep.
Number 17, Unholy for the PC. Number 18, Pikmin 4 for the Switch. You can hang out with Olimar. Or I guess technically rescue him. I don't think he's playing as him in 4. Doesn't matter. And number 19, Sephony for the PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Sephony. That's an interesting name.
You know, like Persephone. This sentence happened.
Yep. Persephone is also a name of a planet in the Firefly universe. Deep cut right there.
You know what the worst part about that is?
What's that?
Fillion got cast as Green Lantern.
Yes. But not the cool one.
Well, not the cool one, but the known one or whatever.
Yep. I feel like
or one of the two known ones. I think there's only the
he can never be in a like leading role or a main character role. Like he only ever get cast.
Come on, he was in The Rookie.
He only ever get cast in like when it comes to movies in like whatever, some side character, some random person who's like you think might be cool, but is only in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yeah. There's like, all right, cool. Nathan Fillion's here.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, it's almost depending on the role. Is some people going, was that Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, yep. And it's 100% because he's friends with James Gunn.
Yes.
The other thing, speaking of Firefly, is apparently Disney is remaking Firefly. So that's going to be awful.
Honestly, I feel this is just going to piss everybody off.
Oh, yeah. Because...
Which means it's good for a remake.
Yeah. Like, none of the original cast is involved. So.
And no one asked for it.
Yeah. Speaking of things no one asked for,
number 1.
yeah, I'm just going to do number 1.
I mean, it follows right into things nobody asked for.
Unfortunately, the drama continues with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Let's do yet another weekly roundup of related news. Sony has finally broken. Phil Spencer announced via Twitter that Sony and Microsoft have, quote, signed a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games, end quote. Microsoft has confirmed that the Call of Duty deal lasts for 10 years, and the deal only applies to Call of Duty. The previously offered deal was for all existing Activision titles. So they fucked around and they found out. Turkey has given unconditional approval to the Microsoft ABK acquisition. The appeal process against the UK's block on Microsoft's acquisition of ABK has been paused for 2 months to consider new proposals. The U.S. Supreme Court has turned down a request from a group of consumers trying to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. That's the lawsuit from, quote, gamers, who we spoke about a couple times.
Yeah.
This random group of gamers. I know, it's just like... where was I? Microsoft and Activision have agreed to extend the deadline for the platform holder's acquisition, avoiding that $3 billion penalty. But if the deal falls through again, like to past the new date, The fee is now even higher, which is generally how those things work. It's $3.5 billion if the deal is canceled after August 29th, and up to $4.5 billion if it is canceled or expires after September 15th. The new deadline is October 18th. 22 Republican members of U.S. Congress have signed a letter calling for the FTC to abandon its legal challenge against Microsoft's acquisition. That was random. I don't know what the deal was that. And then finally, the FTC has withdrawn its internal administrative challenge to the deal, which had a hearing scheduled for August 2nd. So, I don't know. I read a whole slew about this withdrawing their administrative challenge, and I don't know. I guess it's some sort of like it's like a normal operating procedure, essentially. When you since they lost their attempt to block the merger,
Gotcha.
and it doesn't. They can refile, but most likely it's pointless because they've already lost in court. And so now they really can't do anything. So the thought is that they're pulling it, and they're probably going to try to negotiate with Microsoft to get, whatever will make them happy. So, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, everyone is assuming that the deal is gonna go through for sure.
I'm really annoyed I can't figure this remote out. I've been listening to what you're saying, but I'm like so annoyed I can't figure this out that it's gonna take me like 2 seconds, and I'm gonna fucking try to figure this out right now.
Okay,
You can keep talking.
All right, I got nothing to say though. That's unfortunate.
So the entire thing is, I just remembered as we're recording that the Women's World Cup is on, and U.S. is playing right now.
Yeah,
and I wanted to watch the U.S. game
in New Zealand,
and Australia co-hosting.
Yeah, co-hosting. I think they're in New Zealand right now though.
Depends on the game.
Yeah,
the U.S. might be.
Yep. So bear with us for the Women's World Cup live on Fox. Revan, I think your Game Boy Advance is blocking me. Or your remote's dead. One of the two. There it is. There it is. Women's World Cup. Are they good this year? Is that the deal?
They're better than the men, but that's every year. So
yeah.
I think they're technically favorites because this is them attempting to three-peat.
I don't know what that means.
They won the last World Cup and they won the one before that. So this would be the three-peat.
So they're good.
They are, but they didn't win gold at the Olympics. They finished bronze. So now this is a little bit of a redemption arc, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you'd still have them listed as
favorites.
In the favorites, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple other teams that have gotten really good in the world, though, too. So should be fun.
And we're playing Vietnam right now. Oof. Rematch of the century.
Was it a rematch? Didn't we just fight on their territory against only like half of them? Depending on how you look at it.
Debatable, yeah. Debatable.
Still the first half, so
yeah.
I didn't miss that much.
1-0 USA.
Yep.
So there you go.
I did watch some of the earlier. There's been, by the time this game's showing, there's been four games, I think.
Are they going full women here? So all the officials are women as well?
I don't know. I didn't look at the official pool.
Okay, because I just saw a female referee.
Yes, there might be male ones. I don't know.
There is a women's. I don't know if it's F2 or what, but apparently there's some sort of women's racing league that does open wheel kart racing.
Interesting.
And I think it might be on like an F2 level. I'm genuinely curious about it. I think women racers could be interesting because it's kind of like the whole jockey situation, especially in like formula style cars, because they're smaller and lighter.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
And I think you could get
I don't think many
interesting.
people are smaller and lighter than Sonoda, but I understand.
Shots fired.
Hi, Yuki.
But anyways, I guess we can move on.
No, but it would, dude. If the headline comes out that says female driver in F1, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
Like that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we talk about Game Pass?
Yeah, Game Pass.
Game Pass. Microsoft has announced that it will launch Xbox Game Pass Core, the rebrand of Xbox Live Gold, on September 14th. The service will cost users $10 a month or $60 a year. The subscription service will provide consumers access to its multiplayer network, more than 25 games, and various deals. Xbox Live Gold users will automatically transfer to Game Pass Core members in September at no additional cost.
That sounds just like what Live was normally, correct?
Yes, but I have problems with this.
Okay. Before you go, I didn't see. I don't know if you saw any more of it, but I didn't see anything that was really different about this
versus Gold.
Yeah.
So Gold still had the games with Gold,
yeah,
like monthly thing, and now this is the 25 games inside of Game Pass. So it's just like you get you get minor access to Game Pass.
Yeah. Instead of getting 2 or 3 games a month or whatever, you just get a pool.
Right.
Okay. I'm assuming it changes.
Well, yeah, because I'm assuming the 25 changed because I'm assuming it's also relative to Game Pass, so it's not just going to be like just Microsoft titles, but it's going to be whatever
deals they've negotiated.
Yeah, whatever they decide to say, like this is included in Core or something like that.
Okay.
I'm assuming it'll probably be more of like not some of the launch AAA titles.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would you wouldn't want to put them in Core? You'd want to entice somebody to buy for the higher version or whatever. Or you do what EA does, where they do the 10 hours, like the trial version of the game, and then if you're in the expanded one, you get the bigger one. So my problem,
I'm assuming it's things like I don't know, fucking Skyrim, like
Halo, and, So my problem with this, actually, technically Starfield will be in there because that would count as being in Game Pass. So yeah, I think Core will probably still have some of those massive titles in it, which is like insane to me.
Yeah.
But make sure you check before you buy it, yada yada yada. Here's my problem with it. I hated this on PlayStation, I hate this on everywhere. I hate this on Nintendo. We've talked about it before, like 2 years ago. I hate paying for online.
Yeah.
Now, if this was framed in a different light, I would understand. But I already pay for the internet bill.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck off, first off.
Yeah. The only way I can sort of
there's ways I can justify it.
Especially now, considering like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Because they've only added features like which we're split you gotta dig deep here.
This is 100% first world problems.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, like, I'm playing devil's advocate, but like, there's like the chat features and all that shit.
So here's my thing: chat features fine.
Yeah.
Like, I can get behind some of that stuff and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, if you want to use voice or have Xbox Live parties, then you need to pay. But if I wanted to just load up FIFA and hit multiplayer match and play somebody and just do that, I can't.
Yeah.
Without going and getting one of these other things. My other problem is if it was for parties or chat or whatever, some of the social features, or if it was if it said it was, hey, this gives you the social features, this gives you cloud saves up to a certain amount and stuff like that, so you can, like, the Nintendo one is the one where, or PlayStation is it too, but it's like, okay, you have cloud save, so if you switch consoles, you can still pull down your save and keep going and all that stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Tell me it's for that. Don't tell me it's literally just for the ability to even play the game online. That part bugs me.
Yeah.
But I also believe there's something weird, and because I don't know all the tiers of Game Pass. I love Game Pass in what its original use case was, which was just a giant subscription to games. I believe there's something that's true, and again, somebody would have to look at this because I'm not fact-checking myself as I say it, where Game Pass Core gives you multiplayer, but Game Pass Basic, the next up tier or whatever, does not give you multiplayer. I think there's something because they transitioned one, but not the other ones were pre-existing or whatever. So like they need to just align them all across it where it's Core has multiplayer in 25 games. Basic has multiplayer in all the games. Ultimate has all the games, multiplayer, and you can use it on PC.
You would theoretically get yourself in a situation
you could
where
potentially
you
screw
need,
yourself.
where you would need Core and Basic.
You could, at the current moment, I believe that is the case. Is you could end up in a weird scenario.
That seems dumb. I see like
if you were playing a game on Basic and then all of a sudden also downloaded like FIFA and you're just playing offline FIFA, you're just playing single player, so you're fine. And all of a sudden you wanted to play your friend. Well, now you have to go sign up for Core while having Basic already.
I get what you're saying because Basic's $10, right?
Yeah, or whatever it is now. So they just need to put multiplayer in everything, so this isn't a question.
Yeah, they kind of. They need to They should honestly. What they should do. Oh, I don't know how you do that.
If you're gonna make people play or pay for online, then you just make multiplayer on everything, and keep all this the same 25 full and PC across all of it.
Yeah.
Don't change your prices. Just throw it in. It's the only way to fix it.
Yeah. But then you end up like you'd have to get rid of one of the tiers.
No, you
or change the prices.
No, you don't.
Well, Basic and Core are both $10. So do you get rid of one of them? A month. Because Ultimate's 15, correct? I think.
That might have gone up with the recent prices. I don't remember. Yeah, or you just switch Basic into Core.
Yeah, that's what.
But also that makes sense. Either way, what does not make sense is them having. I guess the argument from them would be, well, we have some people that don't want to pay for online and they just want to play games, and that's their option. And I go, okay, cool, that makes sense. But why would you put the potential for somebody to be in this double situation? Either just make Core and Basic one product that includes online, and they all include online now. It's all whatever, $10. Who cares? It's still the same price. You just get it now.
The only thing that would make sense is if Ultimate includes Xbox Live. I'm doing air quotes with Xbox Live here, but if Ultimate, I don't know. It's fucking dumb.
They made it too complicated.
Yeah, we're getting into Sony territory.
They
need
needed
to revamp
cancel Gold a while ago.
Yeah.
And then when they did it, just make it into Game Pass Basic and be done with it.
Yeah, they either need to merge them together or they need to make
everything
Core.
Has to have
they need
the
to
same
be Core
features.
like $5 a month.
Yeah. And don't include Game Pass.
Yeah. And then make the Game Pass also have live.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's hard, and I've always it's interesting. I'm honestly surprised that PC has gone this long without someone figuring out how to do that. Charge people for shit they already paid for. You know what I mean?
I think people would riot if they attempted to say that. Like, it's one thing for Game Pass where they're just saying your access to the games and you already have your computer and everything else. I think it'd be wild if they said, okay, now that you're on Game Pass, in order to play the game online, you need to do this on PC. I think people would just lose their mind. And I think
it kind of that feeds into your argument that this is dumb, because why do you have to pay for it on console when it's okay on PC?
Yeah.
You're using the same internet. You're using the same fucking servers. You're using the same services.
Yep.
So, all right. Gamers 2 verdict is bullshit.
It's like, I get why you did it, but now you're being stupid.
Yeah. What? They score a goal? What the fuck did I miss?
Yeah, it was one that they said was offsides, and they looked at it wasn't offsides.
Tricky dicky. Anyways. Number
how pretty it looks down there.
I know, it's nice. That's fake.
If that was real, you'd shit yourself.
I would poop myself. It'd come out just like that trophy came out of the water. Number 3, portable gaming consoles will be required to have replaceable batteries by 2027 to comply with a new European Union law. On July 10th, the European Council voted for a new regulation to implement sustainability rules for batteries. Manufacturers will be required to make batteries accessible for consumers using commercially available or specialized tools and provide instructions and safety information. While portable gaming devices aren't named in the regulation, an EU representative said that the batteries of gaming handhelds are covered in the filing. Phones and tablets will also be required to have replaceable batteries by 2027. I don't like this because it says that they'll have consumers can use commercially available or specialized tools. So, like, that's no different than the current situation. Like, technically, I can replace the battery on my iPhone mini. It just requires specialized tools, which I can get, online. But is that accessible to most people?
No, and I don't think Apple would tell you.
Well, yeah.
I think that's the part that they're more concerned with.
Is making it more accessible.
Like, yeah, of you not having to go into an Apple store.
Yeah.
Pay $800 to get a battery changed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like I could do it myself. I, go on iFixit, grab the kit.
Right. You go everywhere that's not Apple.
Exactly. But I still wouldn't consider it really realistic for the majority of people to be able to replace it themselves.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
So,
but I also think that a Switch and an iPhone battery are two different things.
Yeah. Well, this was predominantly, because we're looking at it through a video game lens, is a little bit skewed, but this ruling was predominantly aimed at phones and tablets. They just kind of like secondhand.
And also remember, we used to have that.
Oh yeah,
back in the day, rip the phone battery out. Ha ha ha! I got your battery.
I'm getting so annoyed with the current phone situation. It's wild. It is wild. Like, it's 2023 and Samantha and I can't get our fucking calendars to work together because she will only use Google calendars and all my shit's set up in Apple calendars because I don't have any fucking Google things installed on my phone.
Yeah.
And what's even more wild is she can see the things I add onto my Apple calendar, but I can't see the things that she adds on her Google calendar, but they're technically linked to each other. And I'm just like, why is this so difficult? Like,
Nate, say the line. I blame Apple. I don't know.
Wow. I don't know. I think in this instance, though, it's not. I think in this instance, it is Google.
It very well might be. I have no idea because I don't have any sync calendars.
Yeah,
I'm the only person that looks at my shit. But yeah, it's all just it's neither environment. And this includes not even just like OSs, but like phone makers, Samsung and whoever. They have never been friendly with if you ever leave their system.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
if you want to like
being together with somebody else in the system.
Yep. And it's just wild to me, and it's just like everywhere as you go too. I mean, it's no different than Sony versus Xbox as far as crossplay goes. Like there's no reason why you can't crossplay, but for the most part, Sony's just like, nah, we don't like that.
What? No, we don't. Nah.
And it just sucks because like if you go one way or the other, you're losing something. Nice.
Yeah, there's always, and the only time you're not is at the very beginning when you're kind of starting to make that choice, and then if you ever commit, like you have committed to Apple, so now like breaking out of that ecosystem is a nightmare.
It's just funny to me because I have an iPhone because Samantha has an iPhone more than any other reason. But she fucking uses Google Calendar.
Well, now we're into a human problem, and I can't fix that.
I know. And then she's like, why can't you just get Google Calendar? I'm like, I don't want Google Apps on my phone.
Can I follow that with why?
It's just one of those weird things where it's just like, I don't want...
Have you now chosen the hill and this is where you will die?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to like...
Because I can get behind that just being the reason alone.
I don't want Google, like... I don't know, for some reason, Google's the one that rubs me the wrong way.
Which is hysterical to me. But I understand.
I don't know. I just feel...
Well,
I don't know why.
There's no... But no, I get it. Like, everybody has a boogeyman. Mm-hmm. But I, in looking at them, whoever the ethereal them is, it's just like, yeah, Google's doing some shit. Amazon's actually probably worse.
Well, Amazon's the same way. I don't have the Amazon app on
but
my
yeah,
phone.
there's like... It's like... all of them, it's just like...
I got all those fucking containers on my browser, you know?
If you stare long enough at them,
they're all the same.
They all just either blur into the same or they all, they're onions. You start peeling back little layers and you find their rotted, evil fucking core.
Mm-hmm. The only reason why I'm okay with Apple is because
all these
Apple...
containers in your browser, what?
It's because Apple, like...
I just picked that up.
Because Apple, they want your data, but they also don't want to give it to anyone else. So I'm like, that's like a quarter of a degree better.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it's just one of those things. It doesn't really make any sense, but
that's just so they can eventually make AI out of you and then hook you up to the Matrix.
Yeah, there's actually a really awesome
your robot self.
There's an anime that came out this season.
Oh god damn it!
Summer season anime, and it's what do they call it? High science fiction, is that what it's called? It's like
high sci-fi.
Yeah, high sci-fi. And essentially, the concept of this anime is that this guy's mother is in jail because she naively allowed a tech company to scan her consciousness and her because they have AI and robots and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's the South Park Human Centipede episode, but like tastefully.
Yeah, essentially the whole thing is like
you didn't read the terms of service, and now
yep, and now there's like clones of you all over the world doing bad things.
Yep. Everyone's fear. What if the robot looks like me and murders somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Number 4, Roblox was in the news a few times this week for making robots out of small children and using them to murder.
Really, that's probably what they're up to.
Yeah. Was in the news a few times this week. We won't spend too much time on it because it's Roblox and this is not a Roblox podcast, but staff at Roblox have reported a climate of marginalization of minorities and a lack of diversity efforts, according to a new report from Bloomberg. Roblox announced plans to build tools for developers to create subscriptions within their experiences inside of Roblox. And Roblox has experienced a significant data breach containing nearly 4,000 developer profiles. As reported by PC Gamer, the personal information included those who attended the Roblox Developer Conference between 2017 and 2020. And man, is there a conference I would have liked to attend more.
Roblox.
The Roblox Developer Conference. So RDC. What do you think happens at RDC? I'm so there's no way it's not GDC. It is just RDC.
I don't know, man. What timeline? What butterfly got fucking stepped on to create the timeline where Roblox is such a big thing?
And not only are they such a big thing, they're having a developer conference.
Yeah, they have a developer conference.
I don't know if Minecraft has that one. Does Minecon even exist anymore? But even that was fans. That wasn't.
I don't know. I hate this.
Timeline.
This multiverse.
This multiverse is trash.
They have subscriptions now. Developers can, I don't know, make their games inside Roblox and then fucking sell you it.
Yeah.
Wild.
You need a subscription to get into my Roblox club.
What a time to be alive.
Show the doorman your pass.
Show me your dick.
It's a different game.
Oh shit.
Two guys being dudes.
Probably not appropriate while we're watching the Women's World Cup.
Halftime.
Same thing. Same difference. I don't watch sports. I can't tell the difference between halftime and the actual game itself.
That would be a fucking level. Just like, I have no idea what's going on.
All right. Speaking of football,
You mean they just don't cut the commentators halfway through the match?
the Premier League has announced a new partnership extension with EA Sports FC. The multi-year deal will have the association's clubs, players, stadiums, and managers represented in EA Sports FC titles. Additionally, the renewed commitment includes creating programs and investments in communities and schools under the EA Sports FC Futures label.
I don't know what that last part means.
I don't know either. It's the same fucking thing as we're spending $10 million on to promote
In
football.
communities, yeah.
It's like, what does that even mean?
So some small town in England gets a soccer field. And
Yeah, really what it is you put in a soccer field in a small community for, I don't know, we'll say $100,000, and then you give $1 million to some fucking politician or something.
Yeah, to get the $100,000 field put in.
Yeah.
And then all it really is actually is an investment because you're eventually going to use the players that started on that field's likeness in your game.
Exactly. And it's going to be one of those things where it's, if you step foot on this field and use this field, we're allowed to use your likeness and your scan your brain. And
the funny thing, too, is specifically with this, and I'd have to look into it because I'm intrigued now that I've thought about it. But remember the Manchester United football manager problem?
I remember there being a problem.
So they used to be Manchester United, and then all of a sudden they were now Manchester UFC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because Man U said they can't use their stuff. So you can't use their name or their whatever, which obviously we just patched in with fan packs and problem solved.
Naturally.
But they told Football Manager they couldn't use it. But could Football Manager just make a deal with the Premier League then and remove Man United from making that call? Because this says the Premier League made the decision with EA.
There was a thread on the Formula One subreddit that was this exact argument about having another team enter Formula One. Because
the way that it would work,
there's multiple license holders, or there's multiple controlling entities.
So the way that it would work though for the Premier League would be they would all come to an agreement of a revenue split, and all the teams would vote yay, nay.
Yeah.
And then they would all agree as the Premier League to go, essentially.
Yeah.
But if they don't come to that, then you can agree, I believe, on a individual basis, and then that's how them not agreeing and them saying we'll stop this type thing happens. But if they came to the point where they said, okay, well, we do a revenue split or do whatever for every team and it's all yada yada yada, then we're there. But I'm also wondering if they didn't do, I don't know.
So in the Formula One side, it was almost that exact same thing, except they could get a license or approved or whatever to race in the races, but they weren't a part of the TV rights contract. So they could race in the races, but legally they couldn't be on TV. So you'd never see them in shots or anything like that.
Which would be great. I'd be rooting for that team to win so bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, what do you do?
Put a black box over it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just so wild. I'm like, this is ridiculous sports, man.
Which is funny, too.
Sports and money.
Speaking of sports and money, have you heard of, I know you haven't been following baseball a lot, but do you know all of the TV deal shenanigans with baseball?
I'm not up to anything that's happened this year.
So there's a bunch of bullshit that I've always hated about TV deals.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it's not that just, my biggest problem is doesn't just have its own channel that I can immediately subscribe to and get access to watching
if you want to watch all the Yankees games, you got to have like 3 different subscriptions.
If I'm lucky, and even then, yes, now isn't on a lot of services, and even if it was, I thought that was going to be 3 to start the second half. Even if it was, it's like, oh, well, it's blacked out in your area, so get fucked. And I'm like, blackouts should not be a thing.
Agreed.
Cable companies are bullshit.
Yes.
across Major League Baseball, yes, is Yankees and does its own, walks to a beat of its own drum. They're their own thing, but I'm so annoyed that they don't have that. As I just give Yes specifically money, and Yes provides me with a feed.
Yeah,
That bugs me.
mm-hmm.
But I think it was, I can't remember what sports group or like what entertainment group it was, bought the rights to showing like the Diamondbacks, Atlanta, like a bunch of teams.
Yeah, and roughly the same.
And they've now fucked around and found out because they weren't paying and blah blah blah. So MLB canceled the deal with them and took over the broadcast rights for those teams because they weren't getting paid.
MLB wasn't getting paid, or the teams
weren't. They were having to settle suits and whatever with the company because the broadcast company claimed bankruptcy or something.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, how did you even enter into this deal to begin with, and blah blah. So MLB is like canceling and taking over the broadcasting rights for all these teams, and it's like, okay, now you're taking them out of what used to be everybody has their own little markets that they control the broadcasting rights in. And if you put them all under MLB, then we should not have this blackout conversation. And it should all just be MLB streams games.
Yeah.
But then there was an argument, court case between, apparently the broadcast rights were owned between Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Nationals. And there was a giant issue when the Nationals were trying to get sold about who owns the broadcasting rights. And so now it was a fight between them. And it's just like, oh my God, why are you not all individual or all under the MLBs?
I do have to say, like,
I said the MLB.
I have the Formula One TV Pro. And it's one subscription. I get all the races. I get all the free practices. And there's 2 different feeds. There's an international feed, and then there's the F1 feed, if I want the F1 direct feed, and then the international feed, the driver feeds, each individual driver.
So here's how close we are.
And it is fucking amazing.
Here's how close we are. Major League Baseball, MLB.TV, specifically offers single team packages or league-wide packages.
Yeah.
If you want a single team, it's usually, I think, like $90. And I think the whole league is $120.
Yeah. That's be great. You know, it'd be great, too, if they did like a weekend thing where it's like you just get weekend games because who's got time to watch games during the week.
But even then,
yeah,
$110 for all 3,000 some odd games that get played during a season.
Yeah. That's what I think I pay close to that for the Formula One thing for the year.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like I have paid for MLB TV before.
Yeah.
But you want to know what the bullshit problem about it is?
Blackouts.
Major League Baseball, you dumb fucks. I do not live 20 minutes from the stadium.
No. And now...
we're not even the worst case of it. I think it's somewhere in, like, Kentucky or something. I can't remember exactly
I think
what
somewhere...
state it is. It's blacked out from, like, 8 different teams.
Yeah, I think it's... I feel like there's a place in, like, Pennsylvania or something like that where it's, like, you get mega fucked.
Yeah.
Because you get, it's like the Yankees, the Phillies, the
Pittsburgh,
Red Sox, like,
Cincinnati, Cleveland. Like, you're just blocked out.
You're just screwed.
Like, why? Hey, Major League Baseball, I want to give you money. Show me the thing. I want to see the baby.
I would like to see the baby.
It's a baby. Anyway, let's get off of sports and
talk about
some new studios that got created.
Yeah, they clearly haven't got the memo on the economy. Although apparently it's on the upswing.
Apparently the first one at least got created in not the US. UK game alums have formed the indie studio Scallywag Arcade. CEO Spencer Crosley leads the studio. His career experience includes Sony, Hasbro, and Warner Brothers Games. Scallywag is developing an unnamed virtual reality project based on an entertainment IP. My guess is that entertainment IP is Skull and Bones.
Wow. I wasn't ready for that.
You weren't ready to think about that? Scallywag Games? Come on, it's like a great pirate name.
And you know what? I read something
that doesn't exist yet.
I read something so absurd from Yiki Ma that I couldn't even put it in the podcast document.
Oh no, what did you say?
He basically said, I'm paraphrasing here, that he's happy. He's excited for the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal because it confirms that their business model is the correct business model. And I said,
What?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then I closed my browser and I walked away.
You do? Was that the fuck? Was that your newsroom quote for a moment there?
I just read. Oh, she's dying. I just read it, and my brain hurts so much. And I looked at it twice at two totally different points in the day because I looked at it and I said, you know what?
I'm not
maybe.
Oh, she took a hold.
Maybe I just maybe I just misread this, and then I went back to it, and I was like, this guy needs to fucking retire.
Oh man, it's gonna bug me.
Yeah.
EA, Bungie, and Congruent alums have formed a new game studio. Wow, Look North World. The studio's first game will be Outlaw Corral, a Wild West inspired shooter, which will be available on Unreal Engine for Fortnite. Oh, they're doing the in Fortnite thing. Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Look North World said it is the first of several games being developed. It's an interesting idea. An actual studio doing it instead of just like Jim in his basement.
Yep.
Neopets. Y'all remember Neopets? Has announced that it is now an independent company. The web-based game platform was previously under Jumpstart Games, which shuttered last month. Neopets also said that while it operated at a loss for more than a decade, in 2023, it raised $4 million from investors. It said the investment will go towards reviving the brand. Get ready to pull them all off your keychains and make sure that they're fed.
I don't know. I can't handle these investments and these decisions people make. Just does not seem wise.
Industry veterans from Robot Teddy and Foam Punch have formed a new games company focusing on mixed reality experiences called Creature. Robot Teddy and Foam Punch were great studio names.
They were. Indie studios, I'm assuming these are all smaller studios. They come up with some good fucking names.
True.
Oh my god, they take out their own player? They did. Look at that.
It's the second time that happened because the goalie was the one that injured the other one. She'd kneed her in the chest.
Wow. This is fascinating. I find some, not always, but I do think that there's some sports that are more enjoyable to watch when they're women. And I mean that in a very non-sexual way. I just feel like they're more entertaining.
Oh, you don't want to go the beach volleyball route? Because that's the easy haha. I watch women's beach volleyball because they're all smoking hot and they're wearing no clothes.
Yep.
I watch it because they're all unbelievably much better than me, and I need to learn how to play doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing when I watch the dudes, except all the dudes are 6'5", and I hate my life.
Yeah.
And they're also unbelievably shredded.
They are, but I always feel like they all have similar to Michael Phelps problems, where their body proportions are really weird.
I don't find that so much with the volleyball ones. I find that with certain other sports. Where, that shot of Phelps standing outside of the pool with the suit around his
his
weird
torso
onesie.
is fucking
8 feet long.
Yeah, it's dude, are you?
You're
did your dad fuck a dolphin? What happened here?
No, the dolphin fucked his dad. You know how dolphins be.
That's true. Oh god! All right, rumor roundup time. We got some doozies in here.
You're not going to do your normal rumor roundup?
Rumor roundup!
I'm surprised you even remembered it.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's why I call it rumor roundup. According to a leaker, a PlayStation 5 price drop of $50 in the United States, 75 euros in Germany, and 75 British sterling pounds. Pound sterling in the UK may be announced soon. $50 price drop. That's aggressive.
Which is interesting, seeing how Microsoft said they're going to have to raise prices to match inflation.
That is interesting. And related to that, Tom Henderson said the revised PS5 may not be called Slim, as the prototypes are roughly the same size as the original, but with different dimensions.
which is hysterical to me.
Yes. Yeah, what a waste, dude. If
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 it's the
it's-
same size, what's the point?
if it's the same size and the dimension, like it's slightly differently shaped, come on. Then you know for a fact. Ooh, yellow card. You know for a fact it was to cut costs. Which, all right, if you do that and you also make it $50 cheaper, fine.
Yeah, sure. But if you're just gonna,
Wait a second? Who got the yellow card? The American
yeah.
chick for kicking her in the shin.
Yeah.
Don't they wear shin guards? Or do they not wear shin guards?
well, I mean, even though we're shin guards, they're not supposed to kick somebody in the shin.
Listen, let's
It's-
not be
it's
bitches.
not-
I want to see some punches. I want to see some elbow drops. I want to see some flying heel kicks. No, I don't want to see any of that, but
RKO out of nowhere or something.
that would be cool.
If so,
RKO off the fucking
off
goal.
the top of the goal.
All right, more rumors. There's a rumor that Elden Ring is coming to Game Pass based on a tweet from an Xbox vice president. That'd be a pretty big one. I think that's the biggest news in this entire document. Elden Ring on Game Pass.
And it's not even news.
No.
It's a rumor.
Jeff Grubb has said that he believes that Metroid Prime 2 Remastered for the Switch is coming relatively soon.
Without even them acknowledging Metroid Prime 4, which has been in
That doesn't
hell.
exist. That's not real. He also said, quote, something not related to Tears of the Kingdom is happening with Zelda later this year. That's what I was told, end quote.
Another chibi game,
That'd be,
similar to Link's Awakening. I would imagine that to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, is there any other Zelda games that can be remastered?
Oh yeah, there's other ones that could be remastered, but I feel like that was
Dude.
almost like not a remake, but that was like a massive art change that you see it with what they're doing with Super Mario RPG.
What is this? What is going on with these fucking... Are we this flimsy?
Depending on, yes. That's not the one. It's so it's something you learn very quick watching.
Oh, I know.
Not to derail this again, but
No,
but
fine.
it's specific to like women's sports.
Is it really?
No, like what I'm gonna say is
Okay.
where in the men's game, I think a lot of other countries are developing that faster, so they're closer to like different training regimes and everything like that. But a lot of them are have started to like.
So you think they're...
So I think that there is probably a case where the gap between the top, like I think the gap between the top men's and the quote bottom men's at like the World Cup is much smaller than the gap between the top women and the bottom women. Because I think there's a lot of countries that don't invest a lot in their female teams. So there ends up being a lot of things where it's like certain training methods aren't exactly like
See,
the
I
best to
assumed
build
they
up a
were
lot of
being
things.
dramatic.
That's always true in a lot of soccer stuff, but I
Yeah.
think there is also the case where you probably do run
Where
into
they're like sports medicine development.
where some
player
some of their
development IP.
like some of the specifically the bottom teams, like the U.S. I think probably has a great. I obviously don't know the answer, but I feel like them, Germany, Spain, Brazil, like a bunch of the top teams have a pretty decent sports medicine and like training program where you end up going through enough where you're quote tougher and you wouldn't necessarily break down as easy.
Like their facilities and programs are probably far
Right.
more mature and advanced.
And like they've had enough science and test runs to study of like this works, this doesn't work, this causes problems, this doesn't cause problems, yada yada. But then you get to a time where it's like, hey, it might be this country's first time in one of these tournaments or whatever, and it's like they're still learning
Yeah.
and still having that development part. So it's like, okay, they randomly take a knee to the thigh. It's gonna hurt a lot more unless you're used to taking a knee to the thigh.
Yeah.
Like running, I mean, some of these players are going to run 15 miles this game, but like, okay, the first time you've ever had to do that because your country, even if you have a women's soccer league, most countries don't have a women's soccer league. If you had a women's soccer league, and it might be like, okay, we don't the game's not as fast paced. It's slower. It's not whatever. Then the moment you go to a tournament and now you're playing with your countrymen or countrywomen, country people against others, and it's like, oh, this game is entirely changed. This is much faster. This is much whatever. And it's like now it's almost like just pitch clock problems too for veterans, where it's like, yeah, the young guys that have been doing it forever are used to it. Here's this new rule set, and it's like, oh, I have no idea how to deal with this. I mean, you even have it in men's side stuff where like lower level teams in certain tournaments are playing against higher level teams. Like League 2 is playing against Premier League, and they're like, we show up there and they're just move, and you're like, what the fuck is going? And like you can tire, depending on the team, you tire them out by 60 minutes, and then you're just like walking around.
Yeah.
So I think there is some of that too, but it's all still just at a world level. I think it's still just developing.
Yeah. Interesting. What were we talking about? Video games?
Believe it or not.
That's what I was okay. All right. A number of images purportedly from a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 internal alpha leaked, and Activision quickly and aggressively copyright struck them. Kind of, inadvertently confirming. Then the official COD Twitter account asked if Modern Warfare 2 operators, weapons, and bundles should carry over to COD 2023.
And then I believe I think they said they were.
Yeah. Yeah, that people kind of, I don't know if they might have had a follow-up tweet saying they were, but people were like, oh, if they're asking that, then obviously they're going to do it.
Yeah. And also you wouldn't ask it if,
yeah,
like, oh, should they? Yes.
Yeah, they're trying to be
it's like,
cheeky.
Should they? Well, they are, is usually the sentence that you would hear.
Skull Island Rise of Kong, the third
one.
Fuck me. Huh. Well, now I'm going to have to go back to it. Skull Island Rise of Kong, the third-person action-adventure game that we're all super excited for, had its existence revealed via a leak from Amazon Spain.
I hope Peter Jackson's involved with this one, too. Remember that game?
I do.
It was one of the main Xbox demo games in the store.
Yeah, that was the whole thing when Peter Jackson's like, I'm doing video games, and he's never done a video game since, I don't think.
I don't think he did a video game the first time, frankly.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of his jam, though, because he's like, oh, I'm doing documentaries. And then he did the one documentary. Actually, he's done two. I guess that's a lie. He's done two. He did They Will Not Grow Old, which was the World War I one, which was restored footage. And then he did The Beatles, which was also a restored footage situation.
Part of me thinks he didn't have a choice in that one, but yeah.
Also, which one? The Beatles or the?
Yeah, no, the Beatles.
No, the Beatles. The one he was jazzed about doing.
But I feel like they asked him probably.
I think he,
or did he propose it?
I think he proposed it because they found. Yeah, they basically found the footage, and was like, "Oh, we should do something with this."
Ah, gotcha.
It looks like the Overwatch League may be put out to pasture soon. 50 ABK esports staff lost their jobs this week. Also, Activision Blizzard is having the teams vote on an updated operating agreement. If they don't agree to the new terms, they will be paid a $6 million termination fee. If all teams reject it, then ABK will be paying $114 million, which is couch cushion change for them. ABK also said in a longer statement on the matter, quote, total revenues from the Overwatch League comprise less than 1% of our consolidated net revenues, end quote.
There's been a lot of stuff going around about this.
For sure.
Mainly because it's just like in 2016 specifically, when they opened up the Overwatch League and they opened up the beginning of Overwatch and everything else like that.
I don't think I put it in here either, but part of it was, which you're probably going to talk about in a second if I would have let you finish, but, fuck you.
Hurry up, Kanye.
Really finish. Overwatch 2 player numbers have, I guess, drastically dropped as well.
They have, and that's not even what I was going to bring up. Because I've seen that they've drastically dropped, but I'm very curious. I want to know the actual numbers when people say stuff like this, because they dropped from the beginning of Overwatch 2 to now, or did they drop from what Overwatch itself was the month before Overwatch 2 came out?
That's a good point.
Because, okay, did you see a surge, then it fell back down? I don't...
Something to learn about Nate. He's all about context. He wants context.
I do want context. I want context in everything when somebody tells me
it's all about those context clues.
You know the amount of times at work I go, yeah, but what's the context? I don't ever say that, to be fair. I've never said that.
But you're thinking it.
But I'm always thinking of like... But why?
Yeah, give me the deets. Spill the tea.
No, give me something more.
Yeah.
In 2016 when Overwatch launched, and then you could see that, like, okay, we're going to do a pro league, and they bring in all this, they hired all this talent, they were doing all these productions, and it was the Overwatch League, and it was this whole thing. And they brought in talent I liked. And then it went to shit. They all left, they were fired or let go, or they left because there were all this internal fighting and yada, yada, yada. Of the ones that I liked at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's...
Jesus.
In that same time, they were canceling the Heroes of the Storm League. They were shuttering a lot of things. Like, the only thing that seemed to kind of still be existing is the WoW esports stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's like kind of it. But even that, I think the content is fine, but I feel like there's getting dangerously close to mismanaging that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just don't think that they
care.
No, well, yes, I think that is like the big crux of it, and whether that's from like a leadership perspective or whatever.
Honestly, I'm assuming it's a monetary thing because they can't figure out how to monetize it enough.
That's probably it, but also like esports is always going to have the not problem, but like no matter what the game is you can't get carts and horses. You can't get the sponsorships before you figure out how to make the product.
Yeah.
You can't all sprint to doing an NFL Super Bowl level production when that's not how they started.
Yeah, you need to go with the whole race on Sunday, win on Monday routine.
Exactly. And the fact that you are being made for, like, make it for the gamers and the content. Like, those are the ones that are going to tune in and watch it. You're not going to get, like, putting your esports on ESPN is not going to help you.
No. Well, that's what I meant by, I said the saying wrong, but it's race on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Yeah.
They kind of need to not look at esports as a revenue creator.
Right.
They need to look at esports as like, well, we're going to dump money into this and we're going to get that money back in revenues from the game selling better.
And there have been multiple things. There was, I think, one of the former VPs of or former execs, whatever he was. I can't remember what his role is. I think it's Adam. I'm going to get your name wrong, man. I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Who was a former executive at Blizzard that was handling the MLG side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think he also maybe was the MLG creator at the time with game battles and all that stuff. And he's like, when we were doing MLG in the very beginning, our stack to run this cost millions. And like we had to do a browser extension to make things work and yada, yada, yada. Like, do you even remember game battles? Like, that was ridiculous. But, and the whole joke was, well, now that Microsoft owns both Call of Duty and Halo, that can go back under a one-banner weekend to have a Call of Duty tournament and a Halo tournament. Like, that's a massive thing.
Yeah.
But you have to have the right people running it. And one of his, I was reading through some of his tweets the other day, and one of his big things was exactly that, was to get revenue out of it. It is not, because you're watching esports for free. So to get revenue out of it is to not sell the esport. It's to sell microtransactions in the game relative to the esport.
Yeah.
So whether that's, when Riot, when it does the LCS and it does its finals in Madison Square Garden, it's entirely at a loss that weekend.
Yeah.
They'll get certain things back, but not much, but it'll mostly be at a loss
mm-hmm.
until all of the money starts coming in from the skins or whatever that they were selling and promoting during that weekend in the game. And then essentially it becomes attachment rate problems.
Yeah.
But then you can, if you do all of that correctly, you can make a stupid amount of money.
I mean, that works for them, clearly.
But there's still just so many people in it that do it wrong and don't care and whatever, that it's
mm-hmm.
like some of the best tournaments could be ran out of people's basements at the moment.
Yeah.
But publishers
kind
are
of-
going to get greedy with, well, we want licensing fees and we want yada yada yada. It's like, I'm giving you free.
Esports is
content.
like interesting because it hit that point where it became a corporate thing and it kind of just imploded because corporate didn't know what to do with it. Like
yeah,
they
'cause
were
you got-
like,
it's the same problem. Like, why Bobby Kotick alone is running Activision? You're just getting a bunch of weird investors and whatever that do not know the industry that they're joining into
mhm,
and just know number go burr. I like number.
big number, brr.
I go give myself bigger number.
All right, I guess we should move on. South Africa's rating board has leaked the existence of the Borderlands compilation Pandora's Box, Lego 2K Go, and more.
I'm more intrigued by the Lego one.
I'm curious about that one as well. I did not look too much into it, though. At first, I saw it and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, well, go! Data miners believe High on Life is coming to PlayStation consoles. And then finally, GTA 6 reveal trailer will be shown in November. Some leaker said that, or data miner, or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. That one's, if I had to rank these in level of confidence, I would probably place the GTA 6 trailer reveal as dead last.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd probably have them in the order that you set them.
Okay.
Now for some quick things because we're already running late.
Well, got a lot of tangents we got to fill out.
Yeah, a lot of sports ones.
Yeah. Well,
Number 1, UK supermarket chain Tesco will no longer stock physical video games in its 2,800 stores. Number 2, the Borderlands film adaptation will be in theaters on August 9th, 2024. So you got a year for that one. Still weird that's going to be a movie.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Still got to see a trailer
Same.
because that could tell me everything immediately. First
Mhm.
30 seconds. Number 3, Bandai Namco has announced that it will be shuttering the free-to-play title Gundam Evolution. Matt will be disappointed when the game goes offline on November 29th, which was launched in September of 2022.
Dude, none of the Gundam games are good.
That one didn't even make it a year.
I know, they're bad. They're just bad. They need to just stop with the
Number-
games.
They need to make G Gundam. Just make that a game.
I mean, that's the
one that should be a game.
It really should be because that's the one that's most easily gamified.
Yeah, it's the one you turn into an esport.
Yeah.
You have a
100%.
you have a global fight of G Gundam.
Exactly. And then whichever Neo country wins rules the world.
Yeah, you just make it one of the main events at Evo.
Exactly.
Did we just become?
I mean that is a better idea, and then in the 30 seconds we just spitball that's a better idea than every Gundam game I've ever seen.
Number 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake has sold 5 million copies so far. Not bad. Number 5, Larry Major Nelson Herb has announced he is leaving his position as Director of Programming at Xbox Live. Herb joined Microsoft in 2001 and moved to the Xbox team in 2003. He spent 2 decades with the company and was known for his work within the Xbox Live community. I've met him. Nice guy.
That was pretty crazy, I feel like.
It was one of those where it's like a known person there and everything, and then leaving, and you go, but you've always been there.
Surprisingly, no mention of what he's going to, but he did in his tweet make it sound like he was
Going to another
going
project,
to something else
yeah.
because he said he did the whole I'm ready to start the next chapter of my career or something like that, and I'm like, where do you go? You're Major Nelson.
Yeah, you are Major Nelson. It'll be interesting. I did meet him met him at PAX one year.
Nice,
very nice guy. Went to Syracuse.
interesting.
Yeah, his writing degree and stuff was out of Syracuse. Number 6, Microsoft revealed that the double Xbox Game Showcase plus Starfield broadcast aired last month broke viewership records for an Xbox show with 92 million views.
Oh my god.
Blizzard Entertainment has announced that hero shooter Overwatch 2 is heading to Steam on August 10th. You'll still need a Battle.net account, but you can also use Steam now, apparently. So, hey, we're making progress.
Yeah, I guess that's the first. I guess
It's the beginning.
I don't know if it's all of the Activision games or if it's
Just the beginning.
Yeah.
When StarCraft drops and when they announce StarCraft 3 at BlizzCon, it's going to go nuts. Copium.
StarCraft 3. It's happening.
That's not what I said. Number 8, Activision Blizzard saw its revenue increase by 34%, reaching $4.6 billion during its first 6 months of the year. Mobile revenue for the firm also pulled in the most consumer spending at $2 billion during the period. Microsoft said, give me some.
I want it.
Xbox Phil Spencer is quoted as saying, give me it. Number 9, Gamescom Asia will have a physical in-person consumer area for the first time. It's being hosted in Singapore this October. Was not aware there was a Gamescom Asia.
Same.
Number 10, Elder Scrolls Online can now be claimed for free via the Epic Games Store.
Until next Thursday, I believe.
That is true. It is the normal Thursday to Thursday window. And I believe that is only the base version.
Yes.
And you would still need a subscription to play certain parts of it. Well, you can play it for free, but you need a subscription for the bonus things, similar to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun game. I enjoyed it for a little bit. But then I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and that kind of immediately soured me.
Yeah, that seems to be everyone's take on it. They play it for a while, and then they just kind of lose direction.
I just didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't have. Well, I also wasn't playing it with anybody, which probably would have fixed it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
3? 3-0. Let's go, Lindsay Horan The creative director for Star Wars Outlaws, the Ubisoft Massive game, said that a single planet in the game is roughly equivalent to 2-3 zones in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And if you're me, you go, just don't make it be a fucking boat between them, and I'm fine.
I read that, and I was maybe like, well, this game's going to be shit.
It's one of those where I read that, and I immediately go, why does it need to be that big, though?
When you're referencing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you already lost, first off.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
Yeah.
Number 12, Iviari? Irving?
I go with I go with Ivari, but I don't know. It's
those 4 letters, IVRY,
yeah,
provided another update on their journey of making the PSVR 2 headset PC compatible. Quote, PSVR 2 tracking is done. We now have a full 6DOF headset tracking in Steam VR, end quote. So we're getting close, boys. Number 13, Anna Meagle, the narrative lead on the upcoming Fable reboot, has announced that they are leaving the project. Great start, Fable. You guys are doing great.
Crushing it.
Number 14, hey, there was a trailer for Armored Core 6, and I have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on anymore.
Same.
Which, not surprising. It's an Armored Core game, but it looked pretty.
It reminds me, there's a lot of, I mean, as you do, because it's a mech game, but there's a lot of elements that you find in
mech games?
Yeah, Gundam is what I was going to say. The storyline, it's a storyline in Thunderbolt, Gundam Thunderbolt, and December Sky, I believe it's called. That looks like it's going to mimic it, where it's like you, basically this paraplegic, well, he starts off with like losing one arm, and he uses that to hook into a Gundam to be, more connected.
Oh, so you're just...
And then the military decides to cut off his other limbs to hook him even further into the mech.
To bio Gundam him.
Yeah. So that kind of, it looks like there's going to be some themes like that in there. So, the man in the machine.
No, the song was The Man in the Mirror.
Okay.
All right, well, that's all I got. Anything else?
I got nada.
I'd ask what you've been doing in 7 days, but I mean, really, we've all been doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's nothing exciting right now.
This is the most exciting thing that I'm pumped for.
Yeah.
Women's World Cup is on. Great Push is going on.
Yeah.
I got content to watch for weeks.
Any more fallout from the new Evoker spec?
Not yet. Okay. This is the beginning of...
We're teasing it now with the Great Push.
Yeah, now the Great Push has started. This is showing the beginning of showing problems.
Okay. This is where everyone's like, wait a minute. All the WoW idiots.
You get the filthy casuals who are watching the great push happen because they're like, yeah, I love this. And then they realize that every key is running with an augmentation evoker who on the damage meters that they show on the screen are doing nothing.
And it's the meme of the guy going.
But it's that same person that probably in-game has kicked the augmentation evoker because they think they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're actually man in the mirroring.
Yeah. All right, Nate, who do you think's going to win?
This game?
Yeah.
This game would be the US.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't know if you were going to throw a curveball and be like, I don't know. I think they might come back.
That's too much of a curveball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar. Well, like, I'm not. I don't watch soccer or football. But I feel like they're being outplayed.
That would technically be true when it is 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the way that they're like, I feel like they're not trying very hard. You know what I mean?
Who?
The U.S. Like, I feel like they're just kind of like.
So it's the other.
They're not playing at a 100%. They're kind of just like let's.
We could go over this again in the same conversation, and not that I really want to have it.
Yeah, everything you said in the previous conversation is applicable to this conversation.
It's still applicable of
this situation.
Once you know who you're playing, and you the problem that has always happened, and it's happened in every sport, is every sport for the entire length of test of time has always been do not play down to your opponent's level.
Yeah,
because the moment you start taking your foot off the gas is when you can end up getting caught and having a problem.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of, well, once you've solidified a 3-0 lead, now you can just kind of play a little more control and, not have to go up to 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I do have to say, there's something special about a soccer player's legs.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're running what? Well, it depends on the position, but something
and that's
10 to 15 miles a match. Like
that holds true for all sexes.
Oh yeah, I need to show you a man who had the nickname of Little Magician, Xherdan Shaqiri, who I believe now plays for Chicago. He used to play in the Premier League for Stoke and a few other teams.
Mm.
But he is a small human who has literal tree trunks for legs.
Yeah,
classic. Like you see those calves and you go, Jesus Christ, man.
Classic.
But all right, we'll see you guys in 7 days. Enjoy all the things we just said. Bye-bye.